Twilight would have been better if it had been gay and they didn't have that creepy baby at the final movie. I know I'm super, super duper late to Twilight, but I really don't care. No, I'm not going to change my stance on the it would have been better if it had been gay part of Twilight. I've got a whole ass rant ready, and I hate to say this, because I was not a big Twilight fan, but this is technically a Defense of Twilight video. Rudy, insert your, obnoxious laughter anywhere you want in here. I'll accept it, because I know how I'm gonna sound. Let's go ahead and keep Bella the same gender, but let's change Edward to a girl, or hell, even Jacob. You know what? Let's do one even better. Let's go ahead and make them a polycule, because that's in vogue right now, and everybody wants to talk about it. We also need to talk about the weird-ass age difference and the imprinting crap, because both of those have to go to make this sound even a little bit better. Edward and Jacob also need to be less fucking horny and creepy. If we did all of that, right, then this book might be better, but this is a defense video of what already is, so bear with me. I hate these defense videos for stuff I don't like, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Look. The books, while badly written, sound like a teenage girl wrote them, and since the plot is about a teenage girl, it tracks, so shut up about it. All the weird stuff about how Edward is oh so handsome and smart and strong and oh, he's so cute. Oh my god, shut up. That is a basic bitch in love, and it's fine. Because let's be realistic, we've known plenty of girls who talk about their trash panda of a boyfriend and say that about him, that he's funny, he's smart, he's nice, he's everything she's ever wanted, and you're a teenager. What you know could barely fill a kitty cup. Like, trust me, it's not that deep. Thoughts and prayers, sis, because that man needs a shower and some sunlight. Seriously, every time I watched Twilight, that's all I could think of is, homeboy, I think you need a bath. Or, like, vitamin D pills. You're making me nervous, because vampires in the Twilight universe can technically go out in the sun. They don't need to be that pale. I personally liked it when Bella had any time at all with the other Cullen family members, because they acted like normal people around her, and not whatever the hell Edward was thinking, because really it made no sense. Who, by the way, even though Edward is technically a teenager when he's turned, he's very much older than Bella. And Bella is barely legal when this all happens. No offense, but if I was an immortal and all of a sudden I wanted to finally go find somebody who I knew would not live as long as me, I wouldn't go fishing in the barely legal gene pool. I would go fishing for the 20-year-old or 30-year-old gene pool, because we'd have more to talk about. But I guess that's a trope that'll never die in vampire stuff, because, I don't know, maybe people just like that trope. I really don't. I think it's creepy. Like, it is. Don't sit there and try and tell me your immortal vampire is mentally the same age as the underage girl. It never flies, and it doesn't. You know, I'm gonna take this back. This is not a defense of Twilight. This is just me complaining about it, because I'm allowed to complain about it. That's it. That's all it is. Rudy, strike the defense part of it. It's a complaining video. No, that's a lie, it is. And I know it doesn't sound like one, but just hold on before you lose your wig. The book itself is written as though we're inside the brain of Bella. So yes, all of it reads like a girl who is in love with a boy who is, according to the book, and everyone around her is way out of the league of her, but somehow still her friends. It's written like a teenage girl. So does she miss stuff? Yes. Does she think he's amazing? Of course she does. Does she have any thoughts outside of her boyfriend? No. But it's written like a teenage girl, so it works. But whatever, she also has a nice boy who is a dog who loves her too, who really would not have been a better option as is presented, but you know what? It would have been the same age group and it would have been better. Sis, you have options. Please explore them before becoming a sad 30-year-old with too many cats. The book does a good job of also letting us see how weird her dad is. Like, the movies try, but they don't let him shine as much. The book is a little better to Charlie because he gets amazing dad lines and it's hilarious and I love it. But not the movies. The movies are weird. He give me more of a tired of his daughter's crap dad. I read my script wrong, I'm so sorry. Give me more of the dad who's tired of his daughter's shenanigans in books and TV shows, please, because we need it to get back to the correct timeline. The books are not as bad as they could be, and I shudder to think of what was taken out, but damn, they are not so bad that you guys need to keep ragging on it years later. Like, really, it's not. Everybody has staked Twilight a million times and it's still not dead. They're still fans of it. Let it go. Let it die. I have to say, do I like these books? No. These are terrible books that have a weird villain origin story, and since I have that cursed knowledge, you guys are going to get it too. Gerard Way, right? The singer of My Chemical Romance, was there when 9/11 happened, which inspired him to make The Black Parade. The Black Parade inspired Stephenie Meyer to write Twilight, which inspired 50 Shades of Grey, which inspired 365 Days, which is a movie about a man who kidnaps a woman for a whole year under the pretense of making her fall in love with him because he saw her once from a balcony. And if I go any deeper down that rabbit hole, I think I might end up on an FBI watch list, and I don't need that in my life, okay? The point is, well, I forgot I was trying to get to the point too. Oh yeah, defend Twilight. I hate to break this to all of you, but at one point or another, all of us have gone through our weird vampire phase thing. You know you have, Susan, so shut up. I think it is weird, right? I'm gonna go back to the rabbit hole, because that's what this defense kind of hinges on, is the rabbit hole. Through a series of weird events, Stephenie Meyer was inspired to write Twilight. Stephenie Meyer is a confirmed Mormon mother who really, whoever was her, agent for this, should have put a little bit more pressure on her to rewrite a couple of things. Because the werewolves imprint on who they're gonna love, even if that person is a literal baby, it just requires eye contact, that's creepy, that's weird, that's makes no sense. The imprinting should happen, when the person that they're gonna fall in love with is at least old enough to know what, I don't know, anything like that is. Maybe stay out of the underage pool unless the person who is the werewolf that's imprinting is the same age or thereabouts, right, of the person they're imprinting on. Then it gets you that get out of jail free card because, oh, but they're the same age. Once you make it a big ass age gap, it's creepy. It also brings into a lot of questions of why though? What happens if they imprint and the person they imprint on doesn't like them or falls in love with somebody else? I know people have explained the Twilight imprinting thing and it just doesn't work. So in defense of Twilight, the defense would have been, if I had been Stephenie Meyer's literary agent, I would have really sat her down and explained to her, this reads weird now. I cannot imagine how it's going to read 5, 6, 7, 17 years from now, because it's going to read differently and people might not be as okay with it or chimes might change. You need to write something where it's at least weird enough that they can bypass it altogether, or they can make up their own reasons for how it works. But if you're going too deep into detail, it's getting you to that point of that makes no sense, you're gonna make a plot hole, or if it's not a plot hole, it is definitely a Grand Canyon of what are you doing. But for all these weird little inconsistencies, and man, I cannot believe I'm trying to get this out. Okay, Twilight is not a bad book. Hell, it took the world by storm and inspired other questionable media to be made, but it was a powerhouse, and despite how all of us wanted to be, oh, not like other girls, sad to say, this crap was not the plague everyone tried to make it out to be. Does it have good relationship goals? No. No, it doesn't, and if you think that, I implore you to seek help. Does this book have a lot of cool stuff inside of it that we could explore more of? Yes! And we should, but whatever. Go make your own weird fanfiction theories about it and be done with it, but don't try to piggyback off of it and make weird, creepy BDSM fanfiction that becomes its own thing. Just don't do that. Lay this dead horse to rest. Twilight is not for everyone, but the people who like it can be left alone. Are they weird? Yeah, but I'm weird, so that is saying something. But it's not a bad thing. You know who's really weird and who we should definitely burn at the stake? Pedophiles. There, I said it. Burn the pedos. They don't deserve our sympathy. Should we explore more of Twilight? We should, because there's a lot of interesting things that Stephenie Meyer put into there. So the defense for Twilight is, get off it. Let it die. Or if you're not going to let it die, Maybe explore things in it that other people just don't want to talk about. Maybe talk about, I don't know, any of the other Cullens and their cool backstories and powers that we don't really get a chance to see or explore, anything like that, because it's not the main story and they're relegated to the back burner. Sorry, I stuttered. Are the Twilight books hurting anybody? Each other, but whatever. Twilight's not a bad book series. It sure as hell could have been a lot better, but it's not bad. It's just, it's written like a teenage girl. It is narrated like a teenage girl. It is about a teenage girl. And it's weird. But I need to stress this to people. This is the biggest defense for Twilight. It is written like it is told to you by a 16-year-old girl who finally fell in love for the first time. And it is written primarily by teenage girls who, if they have not had their first crush, this is a setup for them of what they think they might want. Which is not the first time that things have been like this. The adults that end up reading Twilight, right, because there were adults, put creepy stuff into there, which shouldn't have been. It should have stayed, right, as a young adult novel where the stakes are not that high. Twilight opened the way for a lot of vampire-esque books like this that just didn't go anywhere and then spawned a million fanfictions that never should have seen the light of day but have. But that could be said for any young adult novel. I would implore you to look at the Hunger Games series and the Divergent series and the Maze Runner series, which are all dystopian books about just these 4 or 5 kids somehow dismantling giant government organizations that the adults around them just could not do. Does it make sense? No. No teenager would have that much forethought, even in the apocalypse. Your brain's not done growing when you're a teenager. So the defense for this Twilight is, well, it's written like a teenage girl whose brain is not done growing, so you guys need to get off of her about it. Could it be better? Yes. Yeah, that's it. That pause should just stay there, because that's really all I have to say about it. Also, the reason why I made this defense is because somebody in the Discord, not mine, a Discord I'm in, dared me to do it. So, you know who you are. There's your defense of Twilight. I want my $10. I'll leave my description and links and everything to my stuff in the description below, and Rudy, go ahead and send me that email of all the stuff you're about to make fun of me for, because Lord knows I deserve it. Stay safe, fam.